I'm getting open as I grow older. But still, I choose who I open up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Wisdom and Wellness Podcast. Today's episode is a special one. You're not a guest.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna become a regular, right?
It's home.
It's home. So, in case you guys don't know and you haven't read our new newsletter, my mother has joined the Wisdom and Wellness hub as you're part of the family, you're a contributor, and she's got something called My Mother's Corner, which started off initially as you contributing on the blog, but now you're going to be joining us on the podcast. How do you feel about that, Mom?
I'm so looking forward to all the conversations and sharing all the wisdom I've gathered through the years. And I think it's going to be a good time.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. As you know, my name is Nomsa, born Tlajwayo, but I'm Mondlane now. And Boom's my firstborn.
Yay. What do you want people to call you? Do you want us to all say mother, mom, gogo, Nomsa? Like, what do you feel like is going to be the term for you?
Look, call me mother,
Okay.
call me gogo, call me sis N,
Sis
whatever
N.
you're comfortable with.
Bobana bakubiza ngo Sis N.
My VW tribe, call me sis N.
Okay, Sis N. Okay, so what we did, I basically asked my members, in case you don't know, we've got a membership on YouTube for the Wisdom and Wellness people. And I asked them, hey, look, I'm bringing my mom on board. I know people have a lot of questions. And from a wisdom perspective, I don't have all the answers. I've only lived 28 years. You've lived 51 years. So you've got a little more life. And so I'm going to pose these questions to you and we can discuss them. Yeah, pretty much.
And I also don't have all the answers.
And you don't.
I still have a long way to go.
Yeah. So we can just talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. If we don't know, we don't know. In fact, I don't think we know the answers. I think it's just nice to talk about it and discuss it.
Share our experiences, you know.
Yeah. Okay, first one. I have two sisters and I feel like my mom always shares stuff with my two sisters and not me. Mostly, I would hear things my mom shared with my little sister and she did not tell me. It makes me feel like I'm not that important to her. How do I grow our friendship? My mom is so cool, but I feel like we are not that close.
Oh, wow. Probably, let me start by saying, as mothers, we do not have favorites.
Really, Mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone's a favorite.
Okay.
In their own space.
Yes.
Yeah. So probably a girl should also initiate conversation with mommy, you know. Be open to any conversation with mommy. Because sometimes we look at people and feel that people are distancing themselves from us, only to find that we are also shifting from them. So,
That's true.
Yes, so speak to mommy about the subject and see how you can meet each other halfway, you know.
But how do you even start a conversation where you feel like you're not a favorite? Like, how do you say, Mom, why? Like, if I came to you and say, Mom, why did you tell Nonto and not tell me? Like, how do you approach that? Especially when there isn't that kind of relationship where there's the closeness or the openness.
You know, I think the great start would be to say, I feel there's a gap between us.
Okay.
And start discussing that.
Okay.
And maybe you can find common ground and get to understand each other, you know.
Yeah. But Mom, I feel like relationships as you get older become awkward, especially because I've seen there's certain relationships where when you're younger, where there's offense, I guess you can get over it easily. But when you're older, it's easier to just say, I don't need this in my life. Or let's just keep it as it is. Let's just pretend we're fine. I don't know.
Contrary to that, I'm 51.
Okay.
My mom is 73.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like as we grow older,
Yeah.
our relationship is getting better because I'm freer to say anything to her.
Okay.
I'm free now to say, when she says something that offends me, I'm free to say, hey, Mom, that doesn't sit well with me.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Unlike in the past, where I saw her as this, this figure that I need to respect at all costs, even at my own cost.
Yeah.
So now I've come to a point where I can address anything with her.
Okay.
You know, even offenses. The other day, she said to me, there's so many avocados. And I said, hey, Mom, so many avocados in your tree.
Yeah.
I can get as many as I want.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, maybe I would have sulked and kept quiet with it to say, oh, she doesn't want me to take more. You know?
Okay.
So now it's more of an open and free relationship. And we ended up laughing about it.
Okay.
you
So
know?
she's also taken it much better.
Exactly.
Okay. That's interesting. Number 2, how do I, as a child, address favoritism among siblings with my mom? So the favoritism thing is quite common in my questions. Like, I think people genuinely feel like there's favoritism. I'll first respond by saying I don't think there's favoritism within as a mother myself, but the way I love my son is different to the way that I love my daughter. But I can't say, if they had to say pick which one's your favorite, I can't pick my favorite.
Yeah.
But I know that the love is different. Yes?
Take, for example, you, Nonto, M2.
Yeah.
Ne? If I can ask each one of you, each one will point at the other.
Yeah.
That one's the favorite.
Yeah.
And you would say that one, and that one would say that one.
Yeah.
It's because you are all so different.
Yeah.
And I relate to each one of you differently because you are not the same person. You are unique, each one with their own personality, their own character. And so it calls for me to behave with you and interact with you with who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. So you don't think there's favoritism? Can she address? What if they genuinely feel like they... Well, for example, I think we know of a situation where there is favoritism. That's obvious. How does one address that if they don't want to leave it hanging?
Address it with your mother. Address it with your mother. And if that fails, therapy. I think therapy is the answer because it might reveal things, underlying causes, you know, that you might not be aware of.
Therapy with the mother or therapy alone?
First alone.
Okay.
And then along the way, probably there will be a point where you need to bring in the mother.
Yeah.
And then matters can be settled there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for sharing your mom with us. You're welcome. I'm a married woman who has a strain in her relationship with her mother. What gives your mom the zeal to support you and see you win in life? I don't know if this is a 2-part question. Maybe we should start with dealing with a strain in a relationship with the mom, especially as a married woman. And number 2, supporting your grown adult children.
Yeah. Strained relationships, there could be a cause.
Yeah.
There's always a
There's
cause.
always a cause, yeah.
There's always a cause. So I think the first point, the first thing would be to check what the cause could be, get deeper into the matter, and find common ground.
But Mom, I feel like older women or older generations, maybe to a certain extent, maybe your generation or the generation before, there's a stubbornness and a wall wherever kids have to say, hey, look, you've offended me. It's as if a wall comes up and there's a whole authority and there's a whole respect conversation where you can't even get to, but I've also been offended this way.
There is. Look, it takes being intentional about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will reach a wall.
Yeah.
But be patient enough to crack the wall slowly but surely.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah. How did you, I know you and Gogo, it wasn't necessarily a strain, but I mean, you didn't live at home. So I can imagine after years of not living at home, coming back, there's an awkwardness, especially because you came back to live in her house. How did you manage to build a relationship?
Let me start by saying, you see, I love coffee.
Yeah.
I love tea.
Yeah.
My love for tea and coffee started with sharing some time with my mother.
Okay.
So over the holidays when I'm home,
Yeah.
she loves tea. So I would make tea for her. And while she sips on her tea, I also make myself a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And that's how we started conversation, talking about things, even though it could not get to a point where I needed to get.
Yeah.
But it developed slowly
But
but
surely.
surely.
Okay.
Spending time together.
Yeah.
And doing what is common
For
amongst
you.
yourselves.
I think what I'm
yes.
hearing you say is that get into the other person's world.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the second part of the question is, what gives you the zeal to support and see your children win in life?
In as much as my relationship with my mother and my dad wasn't as close.
Yeah.
But I had very supportive parents.
Okay.
Even to this day, my parents are very supportive. I have a very supportive family from my maternal family and paternal family.
You do, actually.
So it's what I've experienced in my life.
Yeah.
And I would love to do it even better than I've experienced it.
Okay. That's good. I'm a single mother, raising a daughter who's almost 6 years old. I lost my mother when I was 8. And with my daughter almost 8 in 2 years, this is making me a little anxious. My question is, how do you teach your girl child to be confident? She's already being body shamed for being chubby, and it bothers her so much. What tips can you give to a mother on how to raise a confident girl?
Oh, wow. What a question.
Yeah.
It's not an easy question, but affirmations.
Yeah.
Affirmations will always work.
Yeah.
Also, some kids are naturally very bold and confident, and some need you to work extra hard in building their confidence and boldness. So keep working, keep affirming them.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep telling them how beautiful they are, how strong they are. Strong not in a Mbogoto sense, yeah. No, not in a Mbogoto sense, but to build strength in themselves, inner strength,
innate,
to be able to stand up for themselves, so that they cannot be bullied, so that no one can step over them. Keep affirming them in more ways than one. Engage them in activities that will build their esteem. Let them read books, read for them.
I like that. I have a friend who actually her daughter is naturally chubby and bigger boned, and it was quite an issue, and she could see how like her child's going to struggle. And something she started doing, instead of putting the child on a diet, because I know that's a temptation for many parents to say, okay, the child's no longer eating this, no more ice cream, this. She decided to change the whole family's way of eating and getting the whole family active. And I think in being active, because I mean, if you're chubby, you try run, I'm sure the kids laugh at you like, oh, how are you running? But she got the whole family active, and now the child is so confident. It's actually amazing. So I think as parents, it's not so much about fixing the child's situation, but getting in their world, which is what you and Dad did very well for all three of us. You didn't try use the same model you used for me for Nondo or for Mto, but it's okay, what is Mpoomy thriving in? Let's support Mpoomy in that and affirm her in that. What's Mto doing? Let's support and affirm in that.
Yeah, and another myth we should bust is that we don't all have to be slim.
No.
Some people are chubby, natural, and beautiful like that.
Yeah.
Rather encourage our kids to be healthy rather than to be slim.
Yeah. I think that's the way. We're raising a healthy family, not a skinny, aesthetically pleasing family, but healthy, and whatever healthy looks like for each family. Okay, here's another one. It may not be everyone's experience. However, why is it that as we grow older, mom seems to have traits of jealousy, for lack of a better term, when their children progress or perhaps make grown decisions without their consent or involving them in the decision making, such as buying a house, car, etc.? And I think we touched on this in the morning, and we said maybe we wouldn't use the word jealousy, but rather envy. Yeah. Why is that, Mom?
We grew up in different eras.
Yeah.
When I grew up, we didn't have social media. We didn't have all the opportunities that you guys have. So I wouldn't say it's jealousy, but envy for lost youth, for lost opportunities. And to say, at your age, I had not acquired all that you have acquired. And up to this age, I haven't even acquired what you have acquired. But I'm not jealous. Instead, I'm happy for you because I believe we grow children to see them doing better than we did. It's envy more than jealousy. To say, I could have done this. I should have bought a car at your age, but I didn't. So even though it might look like jealousy, it is not. It might be envy to say, I didn't have the opportunities, and take it in a more positive way rather than negative.